Welcome back, everyone. I am so thrilled to have you here for this explainer. Today, we're diving into some completely fascinating science-backed research that honestly flips the script on everything we've been taught about aging and memory. Listen, if you've ever had that sinking feeling that your memory is just slipping away, I need you to know right off the bat, your brain is not broken. Not at all. It's really just waiting for the right kind of spark. So we're going to explore this incredible 60-second daily habit that literally defies cognitive decline.
Okay, let's dive into this, because I want you to picture a scenario, and I know we've all been here. You confidently march into your kitchen or the living room, and the literal second you cross the threshold, boom, complete blank. You just stand there, looking around, thinking, wait, why did I come into this room? It's like a tiny short circuit in the brain. And usually we just kind of laugh it off. But privately, when it happens a bit too often, it definitely plants this quiet, nagging seed of anxiety.
Or, oh, how about this one? You get introduced to someone new. You smile, you shake their hand, and their hand is literally still warm in yours, but their name? Completely vanished. Poof. You're staring at their face, but the name was just abducted by aliens. It's so relatable, but man, is it frustrating. And it leaves you secretly wondering in the back of your mind, is my memory actually starting to fail me?
Well, here's the thing. These aren't just random funny quirks, they're actually hidden signs of brain fatigue. Now, the source material we're breaking down today outlines 13 total symptoms of cognitive decline. Stuff like struggling to keep up with a TV plot or just losing motivation for hobbies you used to love. But really, even if you're only experiencing a handful of these 5 hidden signs, it is a very clear signal. Your brain isn't permanently declining, it's just crying out for a workout. And this is where society feeds us a pretty dangerous myth. We hear it all the time. Oh, it's just old age. There's nothing I can do. I want to emphatically state right now, this is not your fault. We hear it on TV, we make jokes about it, and eventually we just accept it as a hard truth. But buying into this myth, that's the real enemy here. It leads us straight into this automatic pilot lifestyle where we do the same exact things every day, watch the same shows, and that silently accelerates the decline, simply because the brain stops being challenged.
But hey, get ready for some incredibly empowering news. Your brain comes with this built-in recovery mechanism called neuroplasticity. Basically, this is your brain's lifelong superpower to form brand new neural connections. And the best part? Whether you're 60, 70, or 80 years old, this ability never, ever disappears. Your brain's power to recover and rebuild is completely intact, just waiting for you to flip the switch. To really picture this, researchers use this brilliant analogy. Think of your brain like a massive, sprawling forest. The automatic brain is like this untrodden, overgrown path. Because we stick to repetitive routines and don't introduce new stimulation, the pathways literally get choked with weeds. But the stimulated brain, that is a wide, clear, paved road built by learning new things. If we stop walking the path, sure, it overgrows, but the second we start walking it again, the path comes right back. So the crucial point is, we can actually prove that this works. A major study by Japan's National Center for Geriatrics and Gerontology took adults aged 65 and older and put them through some really simple cognitive training for 12 weeks. The result? A massive 23% improvement in their memory test scores. And get this, that was without any special medication or procedures, just 12 weeks of proper, targeted brain stimulation.
And it gets even more remarkable. Research led by Professor Ryuta Kawashima's team at Tohoku University showed that dual tasking, which just means moving your body and thinking at the exact same time, increases blood flow to the prefrontal cortex by over 40%. Just think about that, a 40% increase. That is absolutely huge. It means your brain is being flooded with the fresh oxygen and nutrients it desperately needs to clear out those overgrown forest pathways.
So, how do we actually do this? Well, it takes exactly 60 seconds a day. Phase 1 is just the first 30 seconds, and it's all about posture and oxygen. You sit right at the front edge of a chair, feet flat on the floor. You inhale, nice and slow, for 4 seconds through your nose, while raising your right arm straight out in front of you. Then exhale for 4 seconds through your mouth while lowering it. Then you just alternate and do the left arm. This slow, rhythmic movement totally regulates your autonomic nervous system and starts pumping that essential oxygen straight to the brain. And this brilliantly illustrates the magic of dual tasking as we move into Phase 2. For the final 30 seconds, you keep up that exact same breathing and arm movement, but now you add a cognitive task, a category association. So pick a category, like fruits. As you inhale and raise an arm, you say a fruit out loud. Apple. Exhale and lower.
Inhale, raise the other arm, say banana. By forcing the motor regions and the cognitive regions of your brain to fire off at the exact same time, you are actively sparking that neuroplasticity.
Now, as you try this out, you definitely want to avoid a few common pitfalls. First, don't rush it. Slow is actually way better here. Second, don't be what they call a 3-day monk, meaning don't just do it for 3 days and quit. Your brain is like a houseplant. It needs a little water every single day. Third, no multitasking with the TV on. This is dedicated time for your mind. Fourth, mix up the categories so your brain doesn't get bored. And finally, and this is absolutely crucial, don't demand perfection from yourself. The actual struggle of trying to find the word, that is the workout. The search is what builds the muscle, not just shouting out the correct answer.
Now, to keep those neural pathways growing, you've got to level up over time. Week 1, sure, stick to simple categories like animals or furniture. But week 2, make it harder. Try only naming words that start with the letter K. Week 3, do reverse math out loud. Start at 100 and subtract 3. So 100, 97, 94, all while keeping up those arm movements. Here's the golden rule you really have to remember. As soon as the exercise feels a little too easy, you must change it. You want to hang out in that slightly uncomfortable zone where you're really being forced to think.
And if you stick with this, the journey over 12 weeks is just beautiful. In the first couple of weeks, that morning moya, that heavy brain fog, really starts to clear up. By weeks 3 and 4, those words that used to get stuck on the tip of your tongue, they start flowing smoothly. By weeks 5 through 8, your friends and family will literally start noticing that you seem sharper. And by the end of 12 weeks, that is when you really get that complete confidence in your own mind back.
To really maximize these results, the researchers offer 3 super simple secrets. First, drink a glass of water right before you start. Your brain is 80% water, so hydration is literally premium fuel. Second, smile just a little bit before you begin. I know it sounds a little silly, but the physical act of smiling actually releases happiness neurotransmitters right into your brain. And third, teach this 60-second routine to someone else. Explaining it forces your brain to physically reorganize the information, which makes your own neural pathways even stronger. Let's look at what this actually means in the real world. Take Yoshida-san, for example. He's a 78-year-old craftsman who was brought into the clinic by his deeply worried daughter. He used to be the life of the party, but he'd started trailing off mid-sentence. The real breaking point, though, was when he actually forgot his youngest grandson Shota's name. Yoshida was just devastated. He figured it was just old age, but he agreed to try this simple 1-minute daily habit.
Well, just 4 weeks later, the transformation was staggering. They used this assessment called the Hasegawa Cognitive Scale. His score jumped from a 22, which is borderline impairment, straight up to a very healthy 27. And it wasn't just test scores. When his grandson asked him about an old toy, Yoshida didn't just remember Shota's name. He recalled the exact types of wood he used to build a toy years ago, and even remembered the name of their old family dog, Pochi. Those blocked pathways had completely cleared.
Let's move to a slightly different scenario and see how this builds. Meet Takahashi-san. She's a 62-year-old former teacher. Now she's a bit younger, and technically, her cognitive scores were still in the normal range, but she was terrified. She kept forgetting her shopping lists, and worse, the names of former students she had known for years. She just wanted to be proactive before things really started slipping.
So Takahashi took the 60-second daily exercise and stacked it. She combined it with a 30-minute walk 3 times a week. After 3 months, she completely stopped needing her shopping lists. She actually ran into a student from 20 years ago and immediately recalled his name without missing a beat. Her cognitive score went from a healthy 28 to a flawless 30. And honestly, the best part is, she felt so incredibly empowered by this that she went out and started her own brain training class for seniors at her local community center.
So here is your 7-day challenge. I am inviting you right now to take the wheel of your own cognitive health. Just commit to 1 minute a day. Try tying it to an existing habit, like do it right before you pour your morning coffee. Sit down. Try your very first session today. Then go teach it to just one loved one. I want you to really take note of how you feel after 7 days. Notice if that fog is starting to lift. In fact, come back and leave a comment below as your own personal growth diary after week 1. Now, as a quick but important impartial reminder, while these tools are incredibly powerful and fully backed by clinical experience and published research, this explainer is for educational purposes. If you are ever experiencing sudden cognitive changes, or if you've got questions about medication side effects that might actually be causing your brain fog, always bring these findings into a direct conversation with your personal physician.
Ultimately, it all comes down to a simple choice. You can finish this explainer, go right back to your exact same routine, and just let the pathways in your forest overgrow on autopilot. Or you can dedicate just 60 seconds today to breathe, move, and stimulate your absolutely incredible, resilient mind. Your brain is completely ready to rebuild itself. So, are you going to give it the spark it needs today?